Recently, my mom brought it to my attention that wearing oversized sweatshirts and leggings might not work for summer. I took this admonition seriously and decided to browse the internet for good summer clothes. However, after browsing the internet and sorting through my clothes, I was still no closer to figuring out my summer wardrobe. Long story short, I saw a video on YouTube of a lady making a peasant top shirt that was also sort of piratey, and I was like, I want to make a piratey peasant shirt. Yes, it was long sleeve, but I get sunburned a lot, so I didn't think a long sleeve shirt for summer was a terrible idea. After going to Walmart and getting some thread, I was ready to begin. My fabric was an old white fitted sheet that didn't fit anyone's beds. Pulling the elastic out of the sheet took forever. Since ripping out seams is really boring, I also was watching videos during that. First I was watching the video of the shirt I was trying to make. Then I watched some videos by Nathan Z because I've been really liking his videos lately, and then I watched a video by Say Goodnight Kevin. So after like an hour and a half, I got all the elastic out of the sheet. I looked not really excited about it because it took so long. And there's the sheet, ready to be cut. Too bad I'm standing on scissors on my bed to get this angle. Because of what the lady said in the video, I had a general idea of how big I needed to cut the fabric. So I measured it till it was 14 inches across the bottom, and then laid out a shirt and sort of traced that to try to get the rest of the shape. I'm not sure why I got so many angles of me cutting the fabric, but here they are. I cut the neck kind of weird, so it's sort of like a diamond at the top, which wasn't what I wanted, so I cut that straight across again. So I measured out 14 inches and cut on the fold, making 28 inches. Actually, one side I made 29 inches because I wanted an inch larger, and I'm not sure whether that ended up being the front or the back. But what I do know is that earlier that day, I got a great deal from my brother's auction. It's only slightly broken, and I got it for $1, which I got from my mom because I didn't have exact change. So after getting some quarters from my mom and almost grabbing a spider, I was able to complete the purchase. Care for a demonstration? And now it's time for archery demonstrations with Jaded Alice, the part of the show where Jaded Alice comes out and does an archery demonstration. This has been archery demonstrations. Anyways, let's get back to the shirt. The next thing to do was to cut out the sleeves. However, I was questioning whether or not I wanted it to be long sleeve. After all, it is summer, and I don't want to be exactly like every other peasant shirt in the world. When you look up peasant shirts, a lot of them are long sleeves. I also considered making bell sleeves, even though I've never made those before, but they seemed a little bit hard, and I figured they'd be a better idea for a different sewing project. I found this lady online who made a peasant blouse for her, like, her 2-year-old or 4-year-old or something, like her little kid. I didn't look at the measurements for that, obviously. So I looked at the shape of her sleeves and how she attached them, and between that and the lady's video, I was able to cut the correct shape for some short sleeves. Speaking of things that are short, if you like YouTube shorts, make sure to check out Jaded Alice Shorts. I'll have a link in the description. On the second day of this project, I hemmed my sleeves, and I got this angle that didn't really make any sense because I was trying to get more angles of you sewing. And then I got a soda out of the fridge and I put a straw in it, and then I went back to my room and unfortunately, the floor decided it wanted to drink of my soda too, and then I tried to show you the way I was going to be hemming the bottom of the shirt, which really doesn't matter later because all of this is going to cut off. Then I tried to attach the sleeves, and then I realized I needed to hem the sleeves. I was sort of scared to sew on the sleeves, so I did it on a slow speed, and then I sped it up, and it didn't matter anyways because I think I sewed them on the wrong way the first time. After ripping out the stitches, I successfully sewed the sleeves onto the shirt, and at the end, it looked like this, which is actually how a peasant shirt is supposed to look at this point, if the videos and websites I looked at are anything to go by. And I'm showing you there that I double stitched the sleeves because I really didn't want them to fall off, and then I had lunch, which was pizza. Unfortunately, this piece kind of ripped when I picked it up, but my second piece was prettier. This is a great type of pizza, by the way. Would you like me to do a video where I show you how to make pizza like this? I don't know how to make sleeves line up okay. If you don't look too close, the sleeves look fine, so don't look too closely. And all these hems I'm actually using as channels to put the elastic through. And of course, how I put elastic through things is by unwrapping my handy dandy clothes hanger, which I then tie elastic to the end of, and then ram it through the different channels I have to get it all the way through. If you're curious of how confident I am in my sewing abilities during this project, I recommend that you read this message I sent later that day and interpret that how you will. So, as you can see, it looked like a shirt, which was great, and then I sewed. Why am I sewing? Oh, I didn't gather the bottom yet. So I wasn't actually gathering the bottom, I was making another big seam for the elastic to run through. After it was sewn together, the shirt looked bad. It was too long and too big, and the lower hem was uneven. Cutting straight is not one of my strengths, so I took some scissors and tried to trim it so it was straight across while I was wearing the shirt. That worked about as well as you might expect it would work. And on day 3, I finished the shirt, while recording basically none of it. I actually don't think I have any footage from that day.